back on the adventure of playing this game. This is going to August 2009. We have
So
been
what would
for
it
2
look
years.
like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Whoa. Okay. It's a nice cave.
To me, this
dungeon.
environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
That's actually really, really interesting. Clean. Oh my goodness, I'm glad it's... Oh heck that you showed up. Thought I might clean this entire house all by myself, right? It's miserable. So he's changed it.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on.
Okay,
From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Okay, that makes sense. My headset's bothering me because I'm trying to set it up just right so it hangs off my head, not my ears. Nazi Holmes make odors. Don't worry about me. I'll be glad to stay here all night. Well, now you just wait. A little head there. Now, why don't we start cleaning and then you decide whether you could do it all night? Okay. This is interesting. This is cool. Up here, much nice as the table. Now, would you please run into the bedroom and make bed? That is interesting. How like this is all like forming together. Yeah. While you're in there, why don't you straighten up the rug, please? All the details matter. Indeed, they do. Do you enjoy being a house cleaner? I don't know what to say. This is like amazing me. Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. Well, my soul just can't be soothed by any other way, it seems, which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, that a tidy couch. Would you straighten that up, please? Oh, but I don't mind. Piled and shared credible, cheesy personal insight. Are you okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. Dot dot dot. Okay, no. No, it was stupid. Sorry, never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't do that? Interesting. The books on the floor of the bedroom. Like, we're just kind of doing chores, but this is really interesting to me. Like how the games have slowly developed into...
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Darling, let me tell you something. In your lifetime, you're gonna get clean a lot of houses, and among all of those, all few of them will stick out as truly wonderful, beautiful experiences, and none of them will be the ones that were easy.
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
There had to be some sort of burden on him before when he was making the prison games. I mean, I'm trying to dissect somebody. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm like thinking this is a standpoint like this Coda is a fictional character, which now I do believe is not true, except I keep thinking that way. I do believe, since this it only makes sense that this is the guy from Insanely Parable. This is true. I mean, That could just be me, my mind playing mind tricks on me. Earlier when I said really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. It's a weird thing to say someone you just met. There's a bit of truth in that, no? There's a bit of truth in that, hey? Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. These books where though? These keep getting reset to like symbolize something. Oh goodness, this puzzle
I'm
the
glad
catcher.
he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
He did, and it's a good thing. Like, I really find this question.
But, of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
So then he goes off and does what? Ah, lamppost. A light
Which
at
is
the
the
end
whole
of the
point of
tunnel.
the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
But then something else happened.
This one gets a bit goofy.
Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationship more meaningful? No. Came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person's a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that in your life? Who do you know who is well developed as a person to make the full disgust of you? Compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, grateful? I intend to make you into a person perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how do we do it, but how do we...
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
It is so easy. It is so easy. Being perfect and effortless. There was the key. On the way
And
to
you
work,
play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
This is the key. How do I achieve it without effort? On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society. What? Well, let me tell you right now, if it is not effortless, then it's not the right answer. I still love you, it's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Being alone must be awful. Thank goodness all of you receive me as being the wise and intelligent. Drinking is not hurting my life. If you are torturing yourself trying to find the right solution for your life, you are not doing it right. Do you understand that you won't be happy until you love me? This is you. Seeking out only one thing is the easiest and simplest path forward. What? No. I'm still gonna go with it because it's better than the other two. Haha, JK. Anyone want to do some... There is no truth, there is no path. Ha ha ha, JK. I like personally go up there and see what's going on. I like how all this is going down. Do what is easiest, do what is simplest, feel what is true. I I don't know.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To
Sort of.
assume that some other person is perfect and totally
Yeah.
fulfilled in every way, and completely miss
That's
all
not
of the
true.
little flaws that make them painfully human.
Yeah.
I think about this game a lot these days.
Perfection is not key to success. Very sad. Boop on.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember
Whoa.
I found that a little strange at the time.
Maybe he put a lot of feeling into this one compared to the other ones. See what he did. See what he did. See what he had created. Ah. Alright, the performance is beginning. Please. Oh yes, this is the greatest performance you will ever see. In the scene you will be playing as me, where we are gathering of professionals. We are the no, wow, bad English. First of all, you start leaning against the wall. Good, stay right there. Woman across the room in a chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's a dream to photograph animal what? This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Hello, that's it. It's not conversation. You need to actually conversate with her, being a human being. Do it again. I'm super scared right now. I like you. Here are all my hopes and dreams. No, that's not what I said to her. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, I was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you do not feel the setting. There's a lot of people around you. I'll give you some props to work with, these cones that bounce when you touch them. I bet you've learned. Oh. Throughout the conversation, you realize how important this is for me. I'll never get another chance. Try to step back away from the stage. But what if I want to bounce on these then? Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, the whole prison again. What? Why? Oh, we're going back into the darkness. I see. Okay, yes, now this is
The
working.
game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away.
Yeah.
Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do?
Yeah.
After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Mobius trip. To play this game, you probably must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin. What if I don't wanna? What's going on, Captain? What are we doing? Help, I'm blind. Can't see anything. There's a giant door. My vision went black. Can't see either. I'm blind. We're okay so far. I can activate. Please tell me how to solve. Please don't let this be forever. Okay. What's going on?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Yeah, these guys are all blind. Truth. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. Keep making this. Yes, that is the truth.
Like I said, I was getting concerned.
Straining.
First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
Wow. He's speaking out in the games that he makes.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
December of 2010. Whoa. Whoa, this is interesting. Maybe reverse this. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. ... Because I kind of sort of am. I have nothing left to give to my work. That's not what I'm going to choose, obviously. What happened? Did something change? There was a machine that that kept me going, and now it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. What is happening here? The two paths destroyed by a rock, created by a rock. Wait, you're looking for a machine. I think I know what it is. Is it far? I need to see to know why it stopped. I could take you
if
to
the
it.
last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
What? I didn't say deal, I said the other thing.
Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on. You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way.
That
You
is
can't
so,
be the one writing
so
both
true.
the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's
When
no
I try to create,
circulation.
I feel empty.
If
What is
all of your
this?
anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
That is so true. So true. Trust me, you will see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. You're making it easy. That feels wonderful, but it wasn't true. But it wasn't true. Don't worry about it. Just keep talking. Keep saying creation is easy. When I complete games, I feel completely energized. I'm constantly excited. It's easy. I never stop being easy. Yes, that is what. Wow. What is. Like,
Seeing
he's
this game at the
telling
time that he made
himself.
It looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Like.
This
What
is
is
someone I really cared
happening?
about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Like, he's talking himself into doing something he doesn't want to do. It's not right. Any sacrifices made for my work are 100% in time. It's not right.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
There is no shame, no fear,
I
no
wanted it
guilt.
to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
That's it. I'm free. I'm free. That's just him talking to himself. In a prison.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
What is... This is sad. This is kind of sad. Kind of went from something interesting to something that dropped off to the edge, where the artist is putting so much detail into their life, you know? Man, I'm glad to see you. You arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you. I tend to be quiet. Very good. So were we the girl that escaped the prison? Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have to pay attention on this one. Also, one more thing. You should know that Coda. Capture the machine. So is this Coda versus society? Yeah?
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Stop defeating us. There's people out there. Can you imagine what pain you've put them through? These creations that any of us could make it through every day. So, does he think that since he's made a game that it's his creation, that he should keep it alive. So here's what needs to happen now. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. You have to admit to the people that you're allowed them to suffer. It's so long. Apologize for leaving. Think carefully, I know how to hurt you. I've seen the thing you fear. Alright then. I will apologize to people on your behalf. What and how did we get here? My friends, my followers, my friends. It falls on me to deliver the bad news. The machine will not apologize to us. But that is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We'll find a way to live without it. Let's show that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy everything the machine has created. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. I want to say we will destroy what it's created. But that would kind of hurt it, right? What? We have the gun again. Why do we... Oh. This is... This is going down a rabbit hole fast. Coda, I'll make sure your work dies. Coda,
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for it? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral?
Yeah, that might.
Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
It would, surely. Oh, well, there goes this whole comfy room that we liked. Wants to be destroyed, I guess. I just fell through.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Wow. Back the machine, eh? Put down your weapon.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do?
Yeah.
Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in
Trying to
trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
What? What?
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made.
Wow. Wow.
So let's take a look.
Wow. So did he take the games... Alright, so I'm getting steadily towards the fact that this is fiction, not non-fiction. Like he's...
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about
Never
Coda's
mind.
work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It
Because
feels
he
like it's
is.
trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
Yes, it is. In a sense, it is. Screwed up my bee house.
This room actually has a maze in it.
I can see that.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Thank you. What would the solution be to the maze?
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
One. Wow. This is huge and impressive in my opinion.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first two challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Alright. Yeah, he was right. It
Was I a failure for not understanding this game?
No.
I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
Because you
I
thought...
remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
What? But because he's a different person.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have
mind.
connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but it's certainly a feeling. I'll tell you that.
Where did I screw up?
You didn't screw up anywhere. You tried to help. There was nothing you could do. Like, dear Davey, thank you for your interest in my games. I need to ask you
I'm the
not to
reason that
speak.
you stopped making games, aren't I?
No.
It's
no.
because of what I did. I poisoned it for you. I don't think I
wonder
ever
at
told you
times
this,
rather you think.
but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt...
You.
It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
You've so
And
infected my personal
the people
space
who
that it's
played
impossible.
They treated me like I
solutions
was
in my work
important.
somewhere hidden between
They
games.
really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
That was an answer, meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating one boundary that keeps me safe. Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them. What?
And then you stopped.
Would you simply
And I didn't have
let
anything
them
left
be
to show
what they are?
I just had to be with myself.
When I'm
And as
around
soon
you,
as that
I
happened,
feel
there was
physically
no
ill. I am
feeling at all.
desperately in need.
Nothing.
Something.
Less than nothing.
I cannot give it
What
to
does
you.
that
I
mean?
literally do not have it. Struggling to keep up with new ideas, it's not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I'm frustrated or breaking something more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. Wait. You're not my problem to solve.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
But I do hope that you, one day, it clicks, and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling. Oh, so it was him the entire time. And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything. So this was him.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing. You put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
What is happening? So he was the one modifying the game. He was the one... Because he knew he would go through it. What? Epilogue. What? What is happening? Stop adding light posts to my game. Stop modifying them. They were for you. Stop it. What's this all? What's going on?
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
He's depressed. That's it. The narrator is the one depressed.
Solution.
Wow.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
I see it more as him trying to tell you how
Even
you
now,
feel.
the disease is
Maybe.
telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
But that's not... This is not what it was meant to be, though. It's like... Don't know what to say. I've got this feeling that this wasn't supposed to happen. I see it as someone tried to do something because they thought something, or they thought that they were who they were, or, you know, like he was the one who needed help, not himself.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Check out my recording. This is going on longer than the last part because we're like at the end of the road here to what this game is. Just be attempting to be help anyways.
What now?
Find a way to contact him again. Which is obviously what you're doing here, I bet.
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
What is happening? So confused. Like, is he the one making these games? Like, is this his own image of himself? I'm slowly turning this into fiction, aren't I? Like, seriously. Like, I can't think of another way to explain this. If this is legitimately happening to somebody, this is, like, sad. And, like, I hate, like, making, like, I don't want to say, no, not jokes. Like, not suggestions. I can't remember the word, but, like, let's go with theories about this being, like, nonfiction, because I feel like that might, you know, that might not go so well. Or I don't know. Just doesn't. I don't know what it is. I'll be honest. This is a walk. This is like huge. This is a walk. I'm stuttering, I know, but like, this is a journey of something that is happening to someone. You know. Don't know what it is. I'll be honest. Me spamming my spacebar and over and over. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? But the fact that he modified the games, the lampposts, it's so confusing to me. Don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Oh no, I screwed up the Be Hot. Is that the core again? Is that the core? I think that's the core, isn't it? Yeah, it is. What's this doing here? Did I do the glitch? I gotta die again. It's gonna do the glitch again. What? Whoa. Whoa. What in the world, dude? Wow. What? That is a huge maze. Whoa. 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 I'm trying to find, like, a sign, a signal, an image in this, but I can't. It's just that big. Wow. For R.
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me.
This project would not have been possible without the following individuals. I'm gonna turn this down a bit because I don't know if it's copyrighted or not. If I hear something interesting, I'll put it back on. But is this, you know what, screw it. I feel like I should share this, you know, because, you know, it's me. What was this game about? I'm so confused. Was this a work of fiction or non-fiction? Was this a legit, like, a story about someone, or was this non-fiction? I can't tell, because there's I do believe there's some games like this where it pretends it's, like, real, but it's not. What? What type of road trip was this? What is this? I'm so confused. I'm gonna go see if I can find it on Steam and see if there's anything that's being said about it. Maybe I could find a review or something. Why is the beginning admin? Everything unlimited tenant. seem to have bought it with. So, again, it's a narrative from no goals, no objectives. I can't tell if this is like real or if it's fake. I can't tell. Like, seriously, I want to know if it's surreal. Like, all right, so I'm gonna come to the conclusion that this is truly a work of fiction, but that was wow. Was that wow. That was something for sure. Wow. Wow, like my mind is blown right now. Like, so I'm gonna come to the conclusion that this is actually fiction, not non-fiction. And this story was what? But here's what I'm gonna get out of it. Davy's a friend of Coda. Well, I'm just going to assume that Davy is the if this is fiction or not, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. But here's what I can get from the story. Davy made friends with Coda at a game jam of some sort, and he ended up watching a game that was made by Coda, and it was the game that was by his own dialogue. But what turned out to be was that as they slowly started sending games through to Davy was modifying them and either sending them back or sending them, or it was kind of like shared like a Google Doc, I guess. I don't know. And any modification that Davy had made it the modification to whoever it was that was, or not. Wow, I cannot remember names. To Coda, and Coda would see this, and Coda would think, "Stop thinking that I am depressed. Stop thinking that I am the one who's doing this. I made these games for you. Stop it. Or stop screwing with what I'm doing here." Coda then ended up leaving, or something like that, something along those lines. And the thing is that Davy had thought that, I don't know. I'm not gonna, I've already screwed up what I was gonna say to begin with. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it off here. I don't have a clue what is going on. I don't. And, like, I just seriously tried to summarize it, and I can't even do that. Like, wow. What a road. This game left me in confusion, but also gave me a feeling of what's going on right now. Like, seriously, what do you do in times like these? Like, I don't have a clue. This is an experience that should probably be felt by yourself. And I know who's ever watched both of these parts by me has probably already watched both the parts, but I'll be honest. You should probably buy this when it goes on sale and play it for yourself, because this is definitely I don't know what to call it, a joyride maybe, to go through yourself and see what's happening. It's surely a ride. I don't know what to say about it. It's just wow. And, like, I don't want to say something that will probably, I don't know, offend somebody, I guess. Just, I'm going to leave it off with, what a great story to tell. Wow, you've done a great job. And I don't know what else to say. I seriously don't. My jaw has dropped at this point. I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is real or fake. I'm gonna lean towards... I said it was gonna go with fake just a second ago, but I'm gonna lean towards real because I don't get what the point of this would be to... I don't know. Anyways, you guys can Google the meaning. I'll probably Google the meaning because I don't know what it is and I want to know. And I'll see you guys. And yeah, I keep screwing up everything I say. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode, whatever I make. Bye bye. Oh boy, this was really, really interesting.